Hello and welcome to another quick update about Loopring. Loopring, I've made one video so far only, but I did talk about it before. I think it was in my top 10 cryptos for 2022. I see quite a bit of potential in Loopring. Also a bit speculative because there might be a GameStop partnership coming up. The GameStop community is just too crazy for that. So that'd be a missed opportunity. And also I think Loopring is quite unique, really like the project, and yeah, I did wait quite long with my own purchases and my first investment into Loopring, and the first one was triggered at around 85 cents, but then another buy order was triggered even below that, and another one even below that, and it's quite fantastic with the last one that was triggered at pretty much the low. Yeah, that was triggered at around 67 cents, which you can see here was pretty much the low, which is fantastic. For me, it triggered. It might not have triggered for everybody, but the price wick here did actually go down all the way to 65 cents. For everybody who's following me with my buy and sell orders on Discord for all channel members, that might have been a good one, of course, at the moment, looking at it, because from down there, from 67 cents to now where we are, it's pretty much something like a 50% increase, or just below 50%. On top of that, obviously, there were further purchases here, one at 85, I think, or 87, but even that is now in profit, so that's really good. I still think we could come down once more for Loopring, but we have come into this area here that I've mentioned so many times, because in the current wave, many altcoins typically, retrace in a strong correction 80-90%. Now, and this is exactly this level here, the 88.7 Fibonacci retracement level, which is at 47 cents. Now, we haven't even got to that yet. I think there is a possibility we could get to that. That would be quite a bit of a sell-off still once more for Loopring. And I think in another Bitcoin bloodbath, which I actually expect, we could see those prices here. At the moment, everybody's getting already bullish again. You know, we see various cryptos doing really well here in the last few days. For example, the metaverse cryptos, which oftentimes in the past outperformed Bitcoin and other cryptos. But some do really well. But I think there is a risk that many people get too bullish already, where for many, also for Bitcoin, the downtrend isn't over yet, you know. So I do expect still another sell-off, which is why we could see this level once, we could see this level actually, this 47, 48 cent level. So it's just to be prepared for it. But at the moment it's looking good, you know, in profit. Also my Loopring positions here, and also the Loopring positions probably of channel members who followed me with the buy orders, which is fantastic. However, since then we haven't really seen something like an impulse to the upside. So we've seen here an attempt to break the 200-day moving average, which is currently sitting at $1.12, or $1.13. The 20-day moving average is there as well. So it's this cluster of moving averages. So the price hasn't managed to push through here. Overall, I think it's still waiting for this sell-off to finish. That immediate downtrend here, that very strong downtrend that actually started in the beginning of January, seems to be over for now. At least that descending trend line has been broken on the 25th of January, which is fantastic. But overall, you still have a higher level downtrend in place here, depending on how you draw it. I think this way, looking at this, we're just now approaching this trend line again. You can always draw trend lines in different ways. Sometimes it's a bit subjective. So it's always worth keeping that in mind. What isn't very subjective though are these indicators, for example, the RSI. And on the RSI, we can see that we're sort of still in the bearish range. So it's, it just means that there is sort of this downtrend in play or at play. But as I always say, typically, especially on the daily, for example, and the higher level time frames, when you're getting oversold, typically there is some sort of a counter move expected. And I think this is what we saw. This is also when my buy orders triggered here in the oversold range, which I think is typically a good time to start buying, depending on your strategy, of course. That's no financial advice, but I tend to dollar cost average in at these prices more than at these levels, more than at other levels, because these are just opportunities, an oversold area. But if we talk about dollar cost averaging in, typically I don't always look at that only because a crypto isn't always there, but these are the times, I did mention it before, where there is huge opportunity in the crypto market, because many altcoins are like 60, 70, 80% down from the all-time high, which is great, but a lot of people are scared. So a lot of people will start buying when we're getting close to the all-time high again, and that is just a missed opportunity, right? So I'm not telling anybody to invest here, but just telling you my perspective, that I think this is where people get fearful and scared. This is typically the time where it's getting really interesting. This is actually where everybody's waiting for, because people are sort of doubting, is it too late to get in when we're getting close to the all-time high, but everybody's bullish, and that's actually the worst time to buy, right? So that's why I'm quite happy that we are currently at these price levels, but considering that we are still very low. What I want to just communicate here is my view, and my view is that we are very low. Yes, we could drop much lower still. We could drop perhaps here to the 0.887 FIB level at around 50 cents. But zooming out, looking at from where we come from, I mean, around $4, yeah, for Loopring here. I mean, you're coming from around a $4 Loopring price. And, it's worth keeping in mind that a $4 Loopring, and we're now at $1, yeah, and maybe get even lower once more. So that just means that it's a long-term thing, right? So buying now is for me something where I wouldn't just take profits because we've gone up like 20%. No, I would wanna take that 10x, 20x. I think that is very, very achievable. And in the next move up here, then in the next major move up, yeah, so that could take weeks, months, to play out. But I think we could reach here at least the 1.618, which is at around 650, but maybe even all the way up to around $10. That's the 2.618 Fibonacci extension level. I think certainly achievable. And looking at where we are now, it's looking very interesting. I think the price levels are still very interesting. It's looking good, it's looking good. But when buying now, I think everybody needs to be aware that there could be, or that I expect another 20, 30, 40, maybe even 50% drop, but that could be just a quick drop out of which you recover fairly quickly. I mean, here Loopring did recover fairly quickly. You can see that actually, a bit like a V-shaped recovery. So another drop could really also be over very soon, and we don't need to stay in that area for very long. Overall, zooming out, amazing times to buy in my view, generally, yeah. So what I do, I dollar cost average in at certain price levels. And so far it's been working out, and that way I remain calm. It works both ways. If it drops lower, my buy orders get triggered, and if it goes higher, maybe I missed the lowest buy order, but I don't really care, because then I can take profits in the next wave up and reinvest that again. It's in my view always useful to have some money aside and not spend all money, because some money aside for lower prices. Otherwise these opportunities can get missed. And for me personally, it's hard to keep always some money aside. It's really hard, but it's very, very useful. It's provided very useful. It's been very useful for me in the past, certainly. All right, that's my view here on Loopring. Hope you liked the update about Loopring. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.